Welcome to my channel. This is the Diamond Chrysalis, aka Divested Diamonds. This is Divestment with Purpose, and you have arrived.
Sisters, stop marrying out. Black sisters, don't go for these racist white men. Oh, you black sisters, you coons. The black man is playing a game. The black sausage is playing a game. The black King Kong dick is playing a game. Because the black King Kong dick won't build you an empire. He won't build you a civilization. He won't buy a mansion and make you live in it. He won't support you, but he'll fuck you. He won't marry you, but he'll turn you to his whore. And when you've had enough, and you says, I want to be treated like the queen that I am, and you go and find yourself a lovely white man, that same King Kong wants to interfere with your happiness by pretending it was your fault.
Hello, ladies. Happy 2023. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. Please do me a favor and click the like button as you watch this video. Thank you. Thank you kindly. So, in today's premiere, we're going to be talking about this guy. This video was requested by Bright Sparkle. Shout out to you, girl. You know, when I first watched this man's video, I thought it was a joke. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. The level of entitlement, arrogance, and delusion exhibited here was mind-numbing. So you have a guy here, British, black, clearly, talking about how he gets bothered seeing a black woman or black women with men of other races. And here's the kicker. He's in a relationship with a white woman himself. So I was a little confused as to why he would be so bothered, seeing as he was engaging in an interracial relationship himself. But as always, black male logic is mostly borderline crazy. So you know how these types of videos go, right? I'll play parts of his video, hear what he has to say, and then respond to his crazy logic. Without further ado, let's get started.
The subject today that I'm going to discuss is something that I have never discussed with anybody else. And it is about my feelings. And it may be offensive to some of the people who are going to be watching this video. And I'm going to see if I feel like I need to apologize by the end of this video or not. I'm just going to go into this, guys, because I don't even know where to start. Ever since the beginning, for a long time, decades, I've had this feeling inside me. And this feeling has come from somewhere deep within. This is not something that I have that has been taught to me. My parents didn't teach this to me. I didn't grow up even around my culture, right? I mean, I spent time in Jamaica, but I didn't really infuse myself within my own ethnicity, within my own people as I was growing older. I had friends from all over the world, people of many different races, cultures, ethnicities. So I was never taught that this is the way it should be. What am I talking about? I'm talking about my feelings when I see a black woman with a white man. There, I said it. For a long time, every time I saw a black woman with a white man, something would come over me. I don't know what it was. I have felt it. I don't know whether it's rage or jealousy, or envy. It could be a combination of all three. But there is something there. It still happens even today. Somehow, I feel like, not that, goodness, I'm going to sound incredibly now, but I'm trying to be careful because I'm not. Sometimes I feel like as a black man, we own our women, that they belong to us and nobody else.
And there it is. Do you think he's the only one who feels this way? Do you know who else has this mindset? Psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, and the list goes on. He feels this way because throughout his life, he's been led to believe that raining terror on women who look like him, women who share his skin tone, should be accepted. In his twisted mind, somehow that should come across as loving. Weird. You see, this is what happens when you're a part of a community that pedestalizes males while treating women as tools. Part of the issue here is that as a black man, he thinks that he's the prize. All he has to do is exist, show up, and black women should just fall at his feet. I mean, he was born with a pickle between his legs, right? For most, if not all, the BBC is their prized possession. So why would you, as a black woman, be looking to any other community for a man who will let you thrive in your own element when you could just drop down to your knees and praise your kings? Why would you, as a black woman, be out there actively looking for someone who will support your dreams, support your goals, support your aspirations? Someone who will not use you as the foundation of a so-called community, which, by the way, is full of conquered men who don't have power anywhere outside of their quote-unquote community. Why would you not want to coddle their shame of being conquered? Why would you not support their lack of manhood? Why would you not accept them exactly as they are? Why would you expand your dating or marriage options in search of someone who aligns with your beliefs and goals in life when you could just wait in vain for a ring on your finger, only to end up in a marriage with someone who treats you like a slave or an object of submission? Don't you know what you're missing? After all, you should be grateful to be the chosen one, right? Don't you realize how fortunate you'd be in such a position? Remember, he's the one with the value, and you're just some female, right? Oh, you females. When are you ever going to learn your place? Would you like to die alone? These males want to have complete control over you, even when they're out there demeaning and disrespecting you every chance they get. They use black women to build them up and then turn around and leave them for women of other races. How many examples of that have we seen? But then they get angry when you date out because they don't want you to live a full life. These types of men want you stressed, hair falling out, living in misery, simply because they want you to be race loyal. It's never worked out for black women to be race loyal. It's not an advantage for black women to be race loyal. But it's the sense of entitlement and arrogance these black males have that makes them think that black women should always be at their beck and call. No black woman is your property, sir. You clearly have issues that only a psychologist or psychiatrist can address, because I can assure you that this mindset is certainly not normal. Let's continue.
And for a long time, I've had this conflict inside my mind as you guys already know, I have dated outside my race before. I'm currently with a woman who is, not of my kin, not of my culture, not of my background. In fact, we couldn't be more different in terms of our backgrounds. Yeah, I'm with her and I love her and we have children together. It could come across to some people what I'm going to say today to be very, I don't know, like I'm a hypocrite.
So let me get this straight. You get angry at seeing a black woman with a white man, yet you are in a relationship with a white woman and have children together? You said it. But let me correct you there. It doesn't come off hypocritical. It's pure hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy at its finest. You want to control what black women do, yet you get to do whatever it is that you want? Who made you Lord and Savior of any melanated woman? This is pure delusion. And notice how he didn't call her his wife? I wonder if they're really married or if this is just for show. Could it be a case of, well, we've been together for a while. It's like we're married, but not really. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just noticed little things like that because it's commonplace in the UK for people to actually live together for years without being married. It's a part of the culture. Most Black British males, for instance, are notorious for being baby daddies, even with so-called preferences. Don't get it twisted. They are no different from any other Black man in America or the world over. The sad thing is, you should see all the mixed children that are abandoned and left to grow up in single-parent households. These males do it everywhere. You have poor little Alicia, poor little Jade, and poor little Jordan growing up in single-parent households. The dust is certainly real. And I'm probably going to have some lunatic in the comment section talking about, oh, well, they don't live in the UK. Does it matter? He's British and he's Black, and that situation can happen anywhere. How much are you willing to bet this union comes from a place of ego and self-hatred? Something's definitely amiss here. Let's continue.
This is where the conflict lies. The conflict lies in that when I see a black man with a white woman, I'm walking down the road, I see a black man with a white woman, I don't feel the same way. When I see a white man with an Asian woman, I don't feel the same way. I don't care. It's only when I see a black woman with a white man, or with, in fact, not even with a black woman with a white man, a black woman with any other man other than a black man. Any other man. Something goes through me.
Okay, my observation here is that your feelings come from the fact that you are in these interracial relationships for the wrong reasons. You want to be able to explore, do what you want, and since you know that these relationships are on a timestamp, you understand that sooner or later, that woman will not be there to weather the storm when shit hits the fan. When she can't take your crap anymore, once she's had enough of you, she will leave you and seek refuge with her own people. The reason you keep looking back and concerning yourself with what Black women are doing is because you don't want Black women to elevate and leave the so-called community. You want them to continue being the retirement plan for decrepit Black men. Most Black women are socialized to accept Black men as they are, in whatever capacity they come in. Most Black women are socialized to be ride or die for Black men, no matter what. They will take you in whatever leftover state you come in. Your trigger comes from you realizing that as time goes on, a lot of Black women aren't going to wait around and continue to put up with this black love scam of pedestalizing worthless men because it doesn't benefit them. Your anger in seeing black women with men of other races is you actually realizing how it would feel if black women were no longer doormats or slaves for a community that has never recognized or respected their value. Because once your relationship is over and the novelty of you dating out is done, you will want to slither your way back into a black woman's life in your old age, knowing absolutely well that you have nothing to offer. Some black women will put up with leftovers like you who bring nothing to the table but old age, diabetes, erectile dysfunction, incontinence, and other health issues to the relationship. Your issues, in my opinion, come from a deep-seated sickness of self-hatred and insecurity. Not a very good combination. You want to have your cake and eat it too, but also want black women to remain stagnant to where you can have something to fall back on once your situation falls apart. And it will. Black women are basically your retirement plan once your lady puts you out and you have nowhere else to go. You black men do it all the time. You spend the quote unquote best years of your lives with your so-called preferences, but once you're broke, dusty, old, used up, hit the wall, only then do black women become appealing to you. We all know that the relationships between black men and women are that of the used and the user, and black men fall in the latter. Let's continue.
And I want to talk about that today because I think for a long time I was trying to fight it, but something inside me tells me that this is something that I need to deal with in a different way. What am I talking about? We're going to get into this now, guys. Please like, please subscribe, please share this video. We will really appreciate that. Thank you very much in advance. What am I talking about this for? I was driving with Iris somewhere. I can't remember where we were going. Only yesterday. And she said something which was quite profound. I don't know where she comes up with these subjects from. But anyway, she said to me that she would want our daughter to be with a black man. That is what she said to me. Now, our daughter is half white, half black, right? But she said herself, and I have never, tried to persuade her to think in a certain way. But she said, I would want, when our daughter grows up, I don't want her to be with a white man. I want her to be with a black man. She said, there are too many white men out there who will look at her as being something that should be coveted because she is different. Now, some of you may be okay with that, but I don't think that's the reason a man should go after a woman. I think a man should go after a woman, not because she's different, but because he likes other aspects of her. I think she was talking about our daughter when she's older being fetishized. A black man is not going to fetishize over a black woman.
Well, this is interesting. My opinion here is that perhaps your woman understands the troubles that lie ahead of your daughter by suggesting she'd be better off with a black man. She's more likely to be accepted by the so-called black community than she is on the other side of her family. Her comments in wanting your daughter to be with a black man most likely come from a place of protection. As a white woman, she understands that your daughter would be much more embraced by her black side than her white side. I'm not trying to be funny here, but it happens all the time. Most times, no matter how hard they try, biracial children aren't always accepted by their non-black side of the family with open arms. There is proof of this everywhere. The one thing other communities have done is that They have made a clear distinction on what is or isn't accepted in their communities as far as race is concerned. And sadly, it's not a walk in the park for a lot of mixed children out there. The white community does have a standard on whom or what they consider a part of their community. I mean, it happens with other races of people as well. Asians are not very open to mixed children either. But again, with every situation, there are exceptions. Things will vary on an individual basis, but when we talk about the overall attitude towards mixed children's acceptance, there are a lot of horror stories out there, and this is why it's important to have these conversations before bringing children into this world. If you foresee issues with regard to family members as far as your relationship is concerned, don't neglect to have that conversation with honesty. If you don't, you risk affecting your children in a major way. But I digress. This man just said, with relation to his daughter, a black man is not going to fetishize a black woman. First of all, let's stick to the fact that your daughter is mixed. She's not black. However, if she decides to take on black as her main identity, that is completely her choice. The only race of woman able to give birth to a black child is a black woman. Other races of women who have children with black men give birth to mixed children. Biracial children, if the parents are from two different races. Bi means two, hence the term biracial. They are a mixture of two different races. We need to start normalizing that. There is nothing wrong with being biracial, but it's ignorant and extremely asinine to think that other races of women are capable of giving birth to a black child simply because they have a child with a black man. You don't hear this from other races of people. The Asian community, for instance, will not accept a biracial child as Asian. The white community will not accept a biracial child as white unless they are white passing and nobody knows about it. But I digress. As far as his daughter being fetishized, most black men fetishize mixed children, they fetishize mixed girls, they fetishize mixed women. Hence the term exotical, or as they're commonly known in this sector of YouTube, quote unquote, preferences. Black men will very much covet a mixed woman, especially when she looks closer to her whiteness than her blackness. That's a fact. If she has a looser texture of hair, even better. Anything that makes her look, quote unquote, less black, phenotypically, will be celebrated and fetishized. Either this man is being intellectually dishonest or really removed from the reality of things due to a lack of contact with people his own race. But let's continue.
It led on to further conversations, and I really did think about from there on in, I think I would want that too. For me, actually, it's not even a question. There isn't a question about it. I would want my daughter to be with a black man, or even with someone of mixed heritage, just like she is. Someone who would love her for who she is. I don't even know where I'm going to with this, guys. I just think we came out with this, we had this conversation, and I just thought, wait a minute. I've always had this problem burning inside me, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know where it comes from. And although I've managed to control it, I still feel this sense of rage. Something. I don't even know whether it's anger. I don't know what it is, but it's something like rage, like me being vexed a little bit. It comes out, and it doesn't manifest itself because I don't allow it. I don't look at couples. I don't give couples the dirty eyes. What are you doing? Because, you know, people could say the same thing about me. And the thing is, people do say the same thing about me. I have a woman who is very beautiful. And I know when I'm walking down the street, and I'm walking down the street down here in West Vienna, you know, the little Balkan regions, yeah, little Serbia. When I'm walking down here, I know that men are thinking the same way that I think about black women. I know this. No, that they're not allowed to look at me. They're not allowed to look at my woman. If that happens, I'm going to smash in. You don't get to judge my woman. Okay.
You don't get to judge my woman. Well, people are allowed to say however they feel. It doesn't always make it right, but people will voice their opinions regardless. There's nothing you can do about that. I mean, you feel the same way towards black women who are in relationships with men of other races. It does sound like you have issues. The fact that it gives you anger or rage to see a random black woman that you don't even know living her best life with a man of a different race, a man of her choosing, should be concerning not only to you, but to those around you. If we are being honest here, you sound a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, a little unhinged. Like I said earlier, a trip to the psychologist or psychiatrist might help unpack some of that inner toxicity. You need help, and you better get it fast before you hurt somebody. Let's continue.
And this is the thing. I feel like I have some sort of privilege to be able to do that sort of thing. Like I can take whoever I want. You have to deal with it.
You sound like a control freak. You need help.
But you, no. I don't want you taking my women. No. No. I don't want my black women dating white men. It's crazy.
Black women don't belong to you, sir. You sound crazy. Like I said, get help. This is giving, if I can't have you, no one else can, except you aren't in a relationship with a black woman. You just want to control black women because you feel entitled.
And you could call it racism, you could call it jealousy, you could call it envy. I'm not even sure what it is, so I don't know what to call it. What do you guys think it is? Let me know in the comment section below. Because I am lost for words. I'm going to try and explain what it might be, right? So I think that deep down inside there is an innate feeling for me to want to protect and covet black women.
No, you want to be able to control black women, whatever you're doing, because you want to have your cake and eat it too. You have a very unhealthy obsession with black women, and it doesn't make sense. I think that your woman needs to start questioning some of your motives towards your relationship. It doesn't add up. The math ain't mathing, sir.
Women that look like me, women of my kin, women of my tribe, women of my background, women of my skin color. I think that deep down inside, that exists. And for me, I think there is conflict that goes on inside my mind, a conflict that goes on when I see a black woman willingly go with a white man. I truly believe this is part of the reason why I feel the way I feel. Like I said, for the longest time, I felt that I was embarrassed about this. I was ashamed to think in this way.
You should be ashamed. You sound like a serial killer who hasn't yet done the deed. It's actually quite scary. You're like a ticking time bomb. You remind me of Eldridge Cleaver, and not in a good way. I mean, there was nothing good about that man. He was problematic throughout his entire existence. You are problematic too. And the reason I'm comparing the two of you is because I can see some similarities. He had an affinity for white women while pretending to care about black women, all in an effort to suck it to the white man. Very strange.
I felt like a hypocrite because I knew that I was doing the same thing. But now I know I need to deal with it. I know I need to deal with it. Don't know why I'm talking like this. Maybe this is like a therapeutic way of me being able to bring to light the conflicts the conflicts of interest that are going on inside my mind at this present moment. I'm not racist. I don't feel like I am racist. But I think we need to look deeper into that word racism. When I see a black woman with a white man, I think this black woman is with this white man because he is a white man. When I see a black man with a white woman, I don't think the same way. I think that black man is with that white woman because.
The only proper help you're able to get at this point is professional help. It seems to me that you have control issues. You look at black women as a group of people who are there to serve and worship black men. The fact that you don't have much to say about you and any other black man dating white or other races of women, but think that the only reason a black woman would date a white man is for simply being white, shows somewhat of a disdain and a lack of respect for black women. It also shows your competitive side and the fact that you view black women as infantile. As far as you're concerned, a black woman is not smart enough or capable enough of just falling in love with a man of a different race based on her own adult judgment. She lacks reasoning as far as you're concerned, and when she gets with a white man, it's purely based on his skin color. How simple do you think black women are? And look, it's okay, because at the end of the day, nobody really cares about your little opinion when it comes to that. I just don't understand why you, of all people, would use Beyonce's internet to come for us when none of us sent for you. Your mindset is no different from a lot of these other black men who want black women to wait in the shadows while they cheat, abuse, and leave them stranded in dangerous situations while they get to go off and have a good old funky time. Aren't you a little too old to be behaving this way? What you think you feel for black women isn't love. It's not coming from a place of protection. It's misogyny. A lot of you black men are in competition with black women. You somehow don't seem to understand that men and women are different. This is definitely giving Eldridge Cleaver. He too had an affinity, like I said, for white women. And in his own twisted mind, he thought by graping white women, he was getting back at the white man who was oppressing him. But do you know what else he did before that? He graped black women for sport, as practice, before doing it to white women. I'm not accusing you of being an artist. I don't know you or your life to do that. But you do appear to be operating from the same mindset as Eldridge Cleaver. All I can say at this point is, I'm glad you're not with a black woman, because I would hate to see you unleash your hatred of black women on her. Get help.
And the reason I think this way is because I truly believe, and I haven't seen any statistics about this, I think that there are, percentage-wise, I think there are a lot more black women who date white men exclusively than there are black men that date white women exclusively. I think you get a lot of black men who will date whatever. Doesn't matter. As long as she's pretty. Doesn't matter.
I can't speak to any statistics, but I'll say this. Black men will date anything and anyone, but especially if that woman is closer to whiteness. Matter of fact, we don't need to go that far. Black men are the biggest perpetuators of colorism wherever you go. Dark-skinned black men, like yourself especially, are color-struck. That is why you are with the person that you're with, in my opinion.
And I think that black women look for something different in white men, whether it be stability, money, and that mixed race child. Perhaps they've had really bad experiences with a black man in their family, a perverted uncle or something.
Not all black women who date white men exclusively have gone through the adversities you speak of. But for those who date out for the reasons you've mentioned, why not? Black women don't need black men's permission to date out. What it really boils down to is that black women understand the ways of black men more than anyone on this planet. They are your secret keepers and know and understand your mindset more than anyone because, well, they give birth to you. I personally believe that there is something inherently wrong with a lot of you black males. I think that there is a demonic factor to a lot of you. That Y chromosome needs to be revisited. I saw 2 videos recently where in one of them, there was a grandmother babysitting her grandchild, and this toddler, who was male, by the way, couldn't have been any more than 4 years old. This little guy was trying to snatch his grandmother's wig off of her head, right? She refused to take it off. He snatched off her bonnet instead and threw it to the other side of the bed. He was seething. This was a toddler. The second video I saw was of a boy in a classroom in Chicago. Now, he was being asked by his teacher to solve a math problem, right? Because he couldn't do it, he caught an attitude and started swearing at his teacher, abusing his teacher. It was F this and F that, all the while making an absolute spectacle of himself and disrupting class. The kid looked around 10 years old. I make this point to say that someone needs to do extensive research into the psyche of the black male. Something isn't right with the majority of them, and while nurture can sometimes play a part, nature must be studied further because the issues exhibited by most of them start from a very young age. There's something inherently wrong with the majority of these males, and that includes you, sir. Get help. Black women have every reason to be fearful of black men. Your behavior alone has shown us time and time again that not only are you dangerous, you cannot be trusted as well. Something just doesn't align. This is why, rather than getting help for that demonic force that you possess, you choose to be on the internet, arguing with black women, fighting black women who are literally minding their own business. Black women have been used, abused, and discarded like trash, sometimes literally, by black men for centuries. These perverted uncles that you casually speak of are real. But of course, you will gloss over it because a lot of you are okay with that kind of behavior.
Women are naturally born. They are ready to give birth at 16 years old. I'm not saying that 16-year-olds should have children. I'm saying they are ready. The physicalities of the body is there, ready to procreate. So probably at that time more better than any other time in a female's life.
Little girls are not safe around you. Women are not safe around you. Why would Black women continue to entertain their abusers when they can find other men who won't do that to them? Remember, we know everything about you and your ways, so try as you may, you can't get away from facts. You may be able to fool the rest of the world, but you can't fool your creators. This is why some of you Black women need to think carefully about the damage that you help cause when you unleash your male spawn into this world.
But I think that could be a good reason as to why I feel this way. There are too many things which are working against each other in my mind at this present moment. I'm trying to reconcile with these things all the time. And I think that the best way for me to manage this, I've simply took a step back and accepted that this is the way I feel. I'm not going to fight it because it's something internal deep down inside. I don't want to fight it because I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong to think this way. I think if you see me, my Albanian wife, my beautiful Albanian wife, and you are an Albanian man, and you see me with the Albanian wife, something inside you is going to say, what are you doing with that Black man? And I don't think there is anything wrong with that man thinking that way. I don't think that if you, like I said, if you come at me, if you give me the funny eyes, I'm from England. It's the way we are, give me the funny eyes, I'm going to escalate it. I'm going to dramatically overreact. Let's just say that. So you're not going to do that. But if I see you with a Black woman, that same Albanian boy with a Black woman, I am going to look. I'm going to do something. I'm going to say, oh yeah? What the hell is that?
It's giving major hypocrisy. It's giving psychopathy. It's giving narcissism. It's giving arrogance. It's giving attitude. It's giving microaggression. It's giving gaslighting. It's giving obsession. It's giving closeted killer. It's giving controlling. It's giving delusional. It's giving arrogance. It's giving, if I can't have you, no one else can. It's giving possessive. It's giving potential stalker. It's giving attention seeking. It's giving abuser. It's giving proceed with caution. Yes, your woman is beautiful, but I don't understand for the life of me what she ever saw in you to even give you a second look. And no, you don't look like Tyson Beckford. Stop it. Woo. No woman should come within 10 feet of you. The more you talk, the more you're telling on yourself, sir. But keep talking because we need to know just how pathetic, hypocritical, and misogynistic you are. Some of you will brag your way into a prison cell. Andrew Tate, anyone? But then again, for a lot of you, that is your second home. Let's continue.
What I will do, right, is something that I have always done. I have never spoken to people about it. I've never given people the dirty eyes because I've always been too focused on the people that are with me, who I love, my family, my children. I've never been focused on other people. You do your thing. Be happy. Your business is your business. Nothing to do with me. And I feel a lot more at peace because of that.
You do your thing. Be happy. Yet it gives you rage to have to look at a Black woman walking hand in hand with a white man. Sure, not contradictory at all. Let's continue.
I still have the urge inside me. Let's call it that, the urge. It's still inside me, but I have a feeling that at some point in the future, I will reconcile with it. it's all about me coming to terms with the fact that the world is changing. People have a lot more flexibility to date whoever they want to date, to be with whoever they want to be with, and that should be okay. And once again, you know, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but this is what it is. There are a lot more people who think like that. I've seen other people in other races do the exact same thing. I've seen Asian men go out and do whatever they want to do with white women. As soon as they see an Asian woman with a white man, no. Straight away, it's a no. It's just a no.
So we are now playing the they do it too card. You black men are really lost. You still can't see what's right in front of you. Women of all races look for stability, none of which can be found dating or marrying you. Black women can't even deal with their own personal trauma because they are constantly trying to survive around you. Your presence alone is a source of anxiety and depression. You are triggering to a lot of black women. I've never experienced such delusion. You are the kings of kingdoms that don't even exist. And this is just my opinion. You assert your authority over black women, thinking that we're not going to fight back. And even when you date or marry out, you're still using black women to clout chase. Why are you always bringing black women into these useless conversations about relationships? You cannot be happy in your relationship if all you ever do is talk about black women and what they should or shouldn't be doing. It's giving pathetic. It's giving loser. Don't you have 2 kids and a wife to take care of?
You're going to have to put up with it. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. There is nothing we can do about it, because I genuinely believe that it's something that is so internally connected to each man to want to protect, to want to covet those women off their kin. Yeah? I don't only think that there is nothing you can do about it, but I think that there is nothing you should do about it. Okay? Man. Okay. That's off my chest. I'd love to know what you guys think. All right? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think that other men are crazy? Do you think that we shouldn't feel this way? Let me know in the comments section below. I would love to hear your opinion on this.
It's crazy to think that you can have this urge to want to control a group of people simply because you're part of the same race. You know, that thing that you can't put your finger on is called demonic energy. You don't need a therapist for that. You need an exorcism. You need to learn to keep it at bay before somebody gets hurt. And here's the thing. What I would really like to know is, what exactly does your wife think of all of this? And I mean your obsession with black women. At this point, if she had any self-love, the best thing for her to do would be to cut her losses and be done with you. You are a walking red flag. Actually, no, let me rephrase that. You are a walking red banner. And this is how I know that this guy came into this space clout chasing off of the backs of black women. He did a response video to Paris Milan on the response that she did to this same video that I've just done commentary on. And he was angry, a little agitated, if you will. He said things like she wouldn't hold a candle to his wife as far as her looks were concerned, and also said that Paris sounds like someone doing videos out of her basement if she had one. And of course, the classic, the blackmail staple. He proceeded to call her an angry black woman. So cliche. You know, at this point, he might as well just join the manosphere and be done with it. My thing is, be careful what kind of energy you bring into this space. The Divine Mother has been very busy putting a lot of these manosphere clowns on the chopping block. I'm just saying, you get exactly what you put in. Keep playing. But anyway, please leave Black women alone. A lot of you Black males are bullies. You're very good at gaslighting Black women. And when Black women respond, you play victim. You are effeminate and childish. And if that woman continues to tolerate your social media spats in this space, I wish her well. If you can't be an adult about things and want to cry on the internet with your man tears because someone said something in response to a video nobody forced you to put out there, then you have even bigger issues. And Black women, please pay no attention to these types. These are sad, attention-seeking, insecure individuals who will want to deter you from living a full life because they don't think you deserve it. As far as he's concerned, he can do whatever he wants, but then expects you to shrink yourself and be a placeholder to a group of men that are conquered and hold no real power in society. Make that make sense. All I can say is, it's all a bunch of fucking shite. I know you understand that. On that note, what are your thoughts on what's been discussed here today? Please leave your thoughts and comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And remember, ladies, some of these males are in competition with women because they lack masculinity. There is no Y in female, yet they can't stay away from our spaces in search of drama. Continue to divest and find your happiness. And if you are in a relationship and people have a problem with it, that's their issue, not yours. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Diamond Chrysalis. Thanks to all my diamonds for being here. And thank you to those of you who will catch the playback. Divest like a butterfly.